Wohl, attorney and Donald Trump supporter, and Julie Roginski, Democratic strategist and Fox News contributor. Good to see you both.
Good to see you, Megyn.
Hi, Megyn.
So, David, you and I are both lawyers. You still practice law. I don't. But
you still know your stuff, Megyn.
The problem is, we don't know whether this is true. And Donald Trump is being accused and tried in the court of public opinion. And we can't really get to we can't know what the truth is. There's not going to be a judge or a jury to resolve this before November 8th. But if what these women say is true, then we're not just dealing with a flawed presidential candidate, we're dealing with a sexual predator. So how are the American people to make sense of that in the next 3.5 weeks?
Well, I would never stipulate that what they're saying is true, Matt. Megyn, Miss Anderson, for example, this happened, she says, 24 years ago. She said it may have been at the China Club. She's not sure exactly if it was there. This is the full interview. She says she doesn't remember who she was with. There were no witnesses. Something that traumatic, what she describes, Megyn, is a felony, digital penetration. You would remember.
She didn't say penetration.
Exactly. Well, she said, okay, touching. It's close enough. I mean, it's a sexual battery. It's a felony. And she would remember who she's with. She would remember which club she's at.
You don't know
Megyn,
that.
And the second, Miss Zerbos, by the way, she was reading directly from a script. It looked like she was reading a book. Hard to imagine there's a lot of credibility when she reads directly from a script.
David,
because, Megyn, why don't you just speak from the, why can't she just tell the story like she would on a witness stand?
Right. Because she was nervous and she wanted to get it right. The stakes are very high.
Couple that with the WikiLeaks release today of communications between the Democrat National Committee, Megyn, several operatives. That's fine. Okay, it's just hard to imagine much credibility, Megyn. I've represented people for 27 years who have been charged falsely with allegations like this. You would be stunned at the frequency with which people are charged with embellishments, with completely false allegations, with half-truths. Cases are dismissed. Cases are never filed. It's shocking.
That is true. Julie, what he just said is true. I mean, women do make false claims, and we've seen that over and over again. We look at the Duke rape case, right, and look at the thing, what happened on UVA. I mean, and they can go a lot further than these women have gone in the claims. But Donald Trump was the one who first told us he does this to women. Grab them by, right? He's the one who said it. And now, and just kiss them without even asking. And now, one by one, these women have come forward from decades ago. I mean, every decade is covered of his adulthood, saying, me too, me too, me too, in great detail. And if this is an orchestrated smear, it's one hell of an orchestrated smear.
Well, yes, and let's put aside the fact that this may or may not be true, and Donald Trump deserves the presumption of innocence. What was most startling to me is not that these women are coming out now, because let us even assume that this is some orchestrated smear, which is hard to believe, but believe that it is. What was interesting to me is Donald Trump's reaction today to these allegations. Essentially, he was saying some of these women are not hot enough.
Can we have that sound? Let's play it for the audience so they know what we're talking about.
Take a look. You take a look. Look at her. Look at her words. You tell me what you think. I don't think so. When you looked at that horrible woman last night, you said, I don't think so. I don't think so. I was sitting with him on an airplane, and he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Go ahead, Julie.
As I said, let's put aside these allegations and let's just take him at his word. Do you have to be a supermodel to be sexually harassed or assaulted? Is that where we are, that Donald Trump is basically saying that unless you're Claudia Schiffer or somebody of that level, that women would never get assaulted by anybody because they're simply not hot enough to be assaulted? I mean, you know, that's where I think women have trouble relating to anything that he's saying, because again, even if you give him the presumption of innocence, his words are so damning, they're so offensive, they're so viscerally insulting, that there's not much else to say about these allegations other than he dug his own hole deeper and deeper today by making the comments that he made.
Why is he talking about the looks of the women involved, David?
Well, when you hit Mr. Trump with a lie, with a slanderous, libelous allegation like this woman did, and that's his position, then he's going to hit back twice as hard, Megyn, and he doesn't hold back.
By calling you ugly? That's the way he's going to handle it?
You know what? Compare what she said about what he did to what he said to her. There's no real comparison. Yes, it was kind of a teenage remark, I'd say. I wouldn't counsel him to talk like that, but that's the way he is. He will hit you back twice as hard when you hit him with a non-truth, with an untruthful allegation, which that's his position, and so, you know,
David,
all
before we
bets are
go,
off.
does it give you any pause? I mean, because as I said at the top, we don't know which is true. One of these two things is true. Either he has been very unfairly accused, or he is a predator. Does it concern you at all that option 2 is still in play?
No, because I've met him. I've know this man. I've talked to him. I've seen him interact with my children. He's a wonderful, good man, Megyn. I wouldn't know the strain of. You know, everybody could have skeletons in the closet, Megyn. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I know his character.
To their guy friends.
And the character of someone who does this is not Donald Trump's character. That's all there is to it.
May I say something about this? I grew up in the 1980s with Dr. Cliff Huxtable, the beloved dad of all of America, and look where Bill Cosby is today with his allegations. So you knowing somebody and meeting them man to man is not exactly experience, is what you know.
Secondly,
secondly, let me just make another point. The other point I want to make is, listen, insulting a woman's looks, we're not 12 years old. You know, I've been insulted, Megyn, I'm sure you've been insulted. Insulting our looks is not something that's going to make us curl up in a ball and make us cry. If that's where he's coming back and hitting twice as hard, that's a damn bad defense, I have to say. I mean, what is that other than a schoolyard taunt that doesn't work on adult women? That's ridiculous.
Listen, having said all that, listen, you have to keep in mind that he has no time to defend himself. He's out there trying to run a presidential campaign and has been placed in an impossible situation. Who placed him there? Was it him and his own behavior?
Megyn,
or somebody else?
That is for the good news is on Wednesday, Megyn, on Wednesday, Chris Wallace is going to be a legitimate debate moderator. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you.